Okie dokie. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the licensing committee. It's the first one of the municipal year. Great to still be here as your chair. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank all of our officers for doing a wonderful job, as you always do, over the last municipal year. Entertainment licensing, taxi and private hire licensing, and of course all the support officers and legal officers as well. It was an interesting year, a tough year. We've got no doubt got a very interesting year ahead. One way or another, things will change from the 4th of July. So we've got our work cut out, no doubt. But I'm sure that you're more than up to the task. You're all wonderful, and I can't thank you enough on behalf of the committee. We have three new members with us this year. We have Councillor Bowden, welcome. Councillor Haigh, welcome, and Councillor Senior, who unfortunately can't be here with us today. But if you're watching the live stream, Councillor Senior, welcome to the committee. Can I just remind everybody that this is obviously being live streamed, as you'll know, and is available to watch live by members of the public. So please conduct yourselves accordingly. And I'll now ask members, please, to go around and introduce themselves, starting with Councillor Raleigh, please.
Good morning, everybody. Councillor Asghar Ali for Gibden and Hare Hills.
Good morning, all. Councillor Sharon Hamilton, Moortown and Meanwood Ward.
Luke Farley, Labour Councillor for Bermondsey and Richmond Hill.
Hello, everyone. Lisa Martin, Councillor for Round Hayward.
Good morning, everyone. Councillor Jordan Bowden, Round Hayward.
Hello, I'm Kate Haigh, the Councillor for Farnley and Wortley.
Tom Hinchcliffe, Councillor for Bramley and Stanley.
Stephen Holroyd Case, Councillor for Ardsley and Robin Hood.
Councillor Dawn Seary, Pudsey.
Morning, everyone. Councillor Rick Downs, Otley and Yeadon Ward.
Hi, Councillor Ed Carlisle for Hunslet and Riverside.
Very much. Right. Shall we go through officers, please? Starting with you, Rob, and working our way around.
Good morning, Robert Brown, Legal Services.
Good morning, Richard Perrott, Taxi and Private Hire Licensing, Service Manager, Operations and Compliance.
Good morning, Jason Singh. I'm the Head of Service covering Taxi and Private Hire Licensing.
Good morning, Valence Jacobs, Licensing and Finance Manager.
Good morning, everybody. John Mulcahy, Chief Officer, Elections and Regulatory, and both licensing sections fall within my remit.
Morning, everybody. Matthew Nelson on behalf of Entertainment Licensing.
Good morning, it's Nicola Raper, Section Head for Entertainment Licensing.
Good morning, I'm Helen Gray, I'm the Clerk for the committee.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Helen, can we please go through agenda items number 1 to 6?
Thank you, Chair. Under agenda item number 1, there are no appeals against the refusal of inspection of documents. Under agenda item 2, there are no items which require the exclusion of the press and the public. Item number 3, late items. No formal late items added to the agenda, but I have just tabled for members this morning a supplement to item 7, the governance arrangements, and the supplement sets out proposed licensing subcommittee memberships. Agenda item number 4, could I ask members to declare any disclosable interests they may have? I can't see any, so thank you. And agenda item number 5, apologies from absence have been received from Councillor Senior. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Agenda item number 6 then, please. Minutes of the previous meeting held on the 12th of March 24. Do members accept these as an accurate record? Yes, Councillor Farley's proposed, Lisa's, Councillor Martin rather, is seconded, and thank you very much. So we shall crack on to agenda item number 7 then, Licensing Committee Annual Governance Arrangements, and I'll ask Rob from Legal Services to introduce that, please.
Thank you, Chair. Hopefully I won't take up too much of your time, members. These are somewhat of an administrative formality, but they have to be dealt with.
No, so you carry on and then.
Okay. Hopefully, if you've all read the report, it should be fairly self-explanatory. First report, item 7, is for members to note your own terms of reference. So it is important that you do read your terms of reference to see what falls within your remit. They are matters which are sent down to you effectively by the legislation itself rather than by full committee. Secondly, that you appoint or approve the appointment of the licensing subcommittees. In the agenda, the published agenda pack didn't contain the names, but those you should have all seen those now, and you'll be asked to approve those. And the third recommendation is that you approve your licensing subcommittee's terms of reference. So those are the matters which fall to the individual subcommittees of 3 members to deal with, predominantly matters under the Licensing Act 2003. And then fourthly, that you approve the delegation of specified licensing functions to officers. So there are certain matters which can be dealt with by officers and are dealt with by officers. Although there is a pilot scheme that's been approved, that doesn't fall within this. It goes outside of the Constitution. We don't have to deal with that today. But there are certain functions which cannot be delegated to officers, in particularly the dealing with Licensing Act applications. So that's about it, really. It's just a question of questions, yeah.
Councillor Martin.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to raise the issue of subcommittee membership and just given the significance of the role of subcommittees, we heard this morning in the training about the importance of the decisions that we're making in those subcommittees. I'm just concerned that we seem to be a member short on these subcommittees, and just to emphasise the need for attendance at these subcommittees, because if we're short of a member, the applicants who we might be taking away licences from can object to a licensing subcommittee being held, and that can compromise the work of our officers and our partners. Thank you.
So, I mean, I'll ask Helen to talk a little bit more about it, but I think subcommittee E is the special subcommittee that gets special guest every subcommittee they sit on. So you'll get to work with everybody. I mean, it's the best subcommittee, isn't it? Because you want to work with everybody, right? I don't know why we're a member short on the committee. It was 15 last year, and we're now down at 14. I don't know why that is. Is anybody aware? Can you? No.
No, Chair. Governance services are provided with the schedules, and they're provided to the whips to nominate members to. So I'm not aware why we are 14 this year.
Don't know whether it's a whip issue rather than a governance issue. Ed,
Can we not just put in a request for another nomination for another member?
I don't know what I don't know. I really don't know. I've just been told that we're down. Yes. So Farley.
Oh, there I am. Thank you. Would it be possible for after this meeting, for officers to go and find out where the additional member should have come from, and then we can investigate whether or not that group can, even if it is a substitute or somebody to be added additionally to the committee, because obviously if we're a member down, that feels as though it's not a great way to be operating.
I agree, and I mean, just look at it. I'm not going to get political in the first licensing meeting, but look at it, and it looks like there's an omission, and one party's not sending somebody. But I don't know, Councillor Bowden.
Yeah, it's also just about that group for the sake of our friend Councillor Hinchcliffe. It's public record, but the other person in E has a 50-odd% attendance record and other scrutinies and committees and stuff. So it's public record, but my concern would be that Councillor Hinchcliffe might be turning up on his own potentially. So thank you.
I can't imagine for a second that Councillor Hinchcliffe would turn up by himself, because everybody wants to work with him. Everyone will be chomping at the bit to go and join his subcommittee. But I certainly take your point, and it needs to be considered. What do we go? Where do we go from here? Do we need to? Yes, Councillor Downs.
It is a genuine concern. As a very long-standing member of the committee, I'd be happy to swap and do the committee with Tom if that helps. Not going to be short. No, I'm just saying the point that Councillor Bowden. Yeah, what I'm saying is the point that Councillor Bowden made, that would overcome it.
Whether we can have a 15 person, as I say, I don't know if it's a whips issue. I don't know whether it's certainly, it doesn't seem like it's a governance issue. We need to do some digging on this. This is the list that I've been sent, and sort of the hand that we've been dealt, as it were. As for that request, bear with me a second. The Downs request, that is.
If I can explain my rationale around the proposed subcommittee membership. So when we're looking at the memberships, I try and make sure any new members are placed with members who have experience. I try and ensure that there's a bit of a party split across, although I know it's not a political matter when it's a subcommittee meeting. I try and ensure that there's a bit of a ward split as well, so that each subcommittee tries to cover, a fair slice of the committee. In terms of subcommittee E, this year, because I couldn't see another way around it, I attributed each member with a number. So subcommittee E would be members 13 and 14, and the first meeting of subcommittee E will be members 13, 14 and 1. So 5 weeks later, subcommittee E will be members 13, 14 and 2, to try and split that fairly throughout the year. And I would keep an eye on members who'd offered to substitute more times than others. Thank you. That was my rationale.
Alan, I think we support you in your rationale. It's not an easy job, and I know you spent a lot of time putting this together. I know you spent hours on it, which is a lot of time, really, just to sort of organise rotas. Lisa, Councillor Martin, sorry, he shouldn't be informal.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, Helen, I really appreciate the work that you're doing. And my point was almost to save you some of that work that I see you doing in the background when you're short of a member. I know you work really hard on that. So yes, I agree with Councillor Farley that it is a whips issue. Thank you.
I was just going to say, if it does make it easier, I'm willing to go on 2 subcommittees. And I'll sit on both subcommittees till we find another solution.
Are you sure? That's a lot of work.
At the moment, that's my day off work.
Look, the thing is, the rota works. It's fine. There is always somebody there. I think. Sorry. I think the thing is to keep an eye out for subcommittee E, in case there is an absence. So I think you're sort of like a reserve subcommittee member. That would work very well. And if we can ask Helen to make sure that Councillor Holroyd Case is sort of aware when that subcommittee meets, that would be useful.
I can just come in there, Chair. Underneath the subcommittee membership, I took the liberty of printing out a copy of the proposed subcommittee rota of meetings for this year. So it will take me some time to put the rota together in terms of sending you all a calendar invite. I've got a colleague who's going to assist me with that. So if you can hang on to the municipal calendar diary of the subcommittee meetings, it will give you an idea of when A, B, C, D or E are meeting, and we will follow that up with calendar invitations as soon as we can.
Regardless, you get a gold star, Councillor Holroyd Case, for your offer. Anything else on this agenda item? No? Okay. In which case, are members supportive of the report recommendations, page 15 of the agenda pack? Let's have a show of hands. Why not? Show of hands who's supportive. Thank you very much. That's unanimous. No need for to ask if there's anybody against it. Okay, agenda item number 8, licensing committee, licensing procedure, rules, the code of practice for determining licensing matters and prescribed licensing training. Again, I'll hand over to Rob, please.
Thank you, Chair. Again, hopefully this is self-explanatory. You have to reaffirm the rules of procedure each time the committee is appointed. And the report also highlights the code of practice for determination of licensing matters for members' information. It is very important that members do take note of that. New members and existing members should be familiar with that, because it ensures that we avoid any bias or predetermination in relation to any subcommittee determinations or any other matters relating to licensing. In fact, there is a convention which follows a recommendation by central government, I think, that members don't sit to hear applications within their own wards, and we stick to that. So occasionally, that I think I have come across situations where members have felt hampered or uncomfortable with sitting on ones in neighbouring wards as well, particularly where they're protect, perhaps the remits of, say, Headingley Stadium or whatever it might be, the applicant might stretch wider or affect beyond the immediate vicinity. And the other point is that you should note the prescribed member training on licensing. Obviously, you've had some training this morning. There is also to be some training in the autumn, I believe, as well. We have November training as well, which will be on a subject to be announced, I think. So that's all from me on that one, unless there are any other matters.
Any questions? Okay, just to add as well, I mean, it's not in this, but whilst we've got everybody here, there was a suggestion, Councillor Downs, which is a very good suggestion, that we have a sort of closed session which would serve as training, where we would invite the police to talk about the Clear Hell Build strategy and the cumulative impact areas. So just to make members aware that that's what we're planning to do. As well as the training in November. Obviously, it's not in under agenda item number 8, but I thought I'd make you aware. So, are members supportive of the report recommendations at page 35, 36 of the agenda pack? Raise hands if you're supportive, please. I thought you were against it then. Great. Okay, that's moved, and we'll move on to agenda item number 9. Which is date and time of the next committee meeting, which is Tuesday, the 2nd of July, 24 at 10 AM in the Civic Hall, Leeds. That may be subject to change for obvious reasons. So we'll keep an eye on that, please. And that concludes today's business. Thank you very much, everyone, for your attendance.